Hey guys, so we're going to start talking today about some developments in South Asia and Southeast Asia from 1200 to 1450. So this is, I believe, one of the last units that we need to or the last regions we need to talk about as we kind of take a tour around the world during this time. Is South Asia and Southeast Asia, and this one's going to focus on Southeast Asia, but you'll see the connections to India, which is mainly what South Asia is as we go through this. So, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so Indian Ocean trade was super important during this time. The Indian Ocean network was the world's most important trade network until after 1500, meaning that so what happened around 1500? Columbus sailed the ocean blue. The Atlantic Ocean becomes becomes a very important network. But the Indian Ocean network is the stuff up to this time. Trade grew from environmental and cultural diversity. It made it made transportation by sea cheaper. And and then you have all these different cultures kind of interacting with each other. You have this huge amount of trade growing, basically because they have different things and they have different environments throughout all these areas. So they have all of them have things that the other cultures want. So trade grows exponentially during this time. And sorry, I said it made transportation by sea cheaper, but this was working so well because transportation by sea was cheaper during this time. It takes a long time and it takes a lot more money to to send something over land through the Silk Road routes. So the Indian Ocean trade, as important as the Silk Road routes are, Indian Ocean trade is really where it's at. Maybe the reason we don't hear about it as much is because Silk Road trade happened between Europe and China and those in between, and we get more of a European history just with our cultural background. The Indian Ocean trade did not really include Europe. It did, as you can see in that map a little bit. Some of it went to Europe, but the most of this Indian Ocean trade is between East Africa, India, Southeast Asia, and China. That's where most of it's happening. Transport of bulk goods was possible during this time, and it made monsoons make commerce possible. Monsoons are these storms that happen in the Indian Ocean during certain times of the year. They're predictable. They happen in seasons, and it's not just the storms, but the winds that come with the storms and how predictable these monsoons are that makes this commerce possible. Monsoon winds can really push you pretty fast and make trade that much more that much cheaper, that much more more efficient as you use these monsoon winds. And you can't see all this right now. I wish. Oh, here we go. Yep. Commerce was between towns, not states. Okay, commerce was between towns, not states. I'm going to try to move myself over here so I can, so you can see all this. But so commerce was between towns, not states, which means that these certain cities and towns become really important. Not so much the commerce between states. You're not getting whole entire governments that are becoming really powerful, but you do have very powerful cities and towns during this time. So that's what we're going to look at as we go through this. Some very important cities and towns that we see here. Okay, Indian Ocean trade started in the first civilizations. The Malay sailors, sailors from Malay in Southeast Asia over here is what they reached Madagascar by 1000 BCE. So they have gone across from Borneo is where the Malay sailors are, and they crossed the Indian Ocean by 1000 BCE. Now, you may be thinking, oh, this means they had ships. And yes, they would have to have ships by 1000 BCE that could go across the Indian Oceans. This is pretty amazing. And we know this. We know that they made it because the Malay language you can find in Madagascar pretty early. And They brought crops. You find bananas from from this time period, and coconuts from this time period, and uh, those are not original to Madagascar, but they are original to Borneo, where the Malay sailors came from. So, sorry. So you so you see this in Madagascar around 1000 BCE, meaning that some sailors made it all the way across the Indian Ocean, and that's when the first of this trade really started. But with greater understanding of monsoons, commerce increased as people began to chart the monsoons and figure out, hey, this is when these winds are going to come every year, and you can count on it. Then, then you can plan your sailing a lot better, and and it makes it to where you can have more and more commerce and more trade, and it can be that much more efficient. The fulcrum of trade during this time was India. India was the center of everything, and it really contributed to the spread of Buddhism and Hinduism into Southeast Asia. And that's what we're going to look at today: is the spread of Buddhism and Hinduism into Southeast Asia and through trade. All right. You can see in this picture Indian culture in Java, which is in Southeast Asia. And when we say Southeast Asia, we also include the islands of Indonesia, which is where Java is. Java is an island in Indonesia today. Indonesia was not a country back then, but it it's in the modern day region of Indonesia, which we call part of Southeast Asia. Okay, so so this shows an amazing archaeological find we have in Java, and you can see the Indian culture in these statues and the architecture there. Just really cool. All right, we're going to use Srivijaya as a case study of of Indian culture, Buddhism, Hinduism spreading to this region, and how that happens through trade. So we're going to look at Srivijaya today. We're also going to look, we're going to look at it right now in this talk we're having, and then you're also going to look at it in the video I'm going to have you watch afterwards. So you're going to have tons of Srivijaya content, even though I'm sure it's nothing you've heard of before right now, but you'll know everything about it, and you can use it on the test if something comes up, and Ben Freeman in the YouTube video I'm going to have y'all do. He really goes into detail on how you can use this in possible exam questions. So the ocean commerce transformed Southeast Asia, including Srivijaya. So you have commerce from the Indian Ocean going to Southeast Asia. This includes Srivijaya. And it stimulated political change. Okay, you have political changes, the formation of governments changes, and it also introduced foreign religious ideas as well. But mainly Hinduism and Buddhism come into play during this time. I'm going to show you where Srivijaya is on the map, in case you didn't see here. So this is my globe right here. Hopefully it looks right to y'all. It's backwards to me. I wonder if I can fix that. I don't think I can. Anyway, hopefully it's right to y'all though. So here's India. You go over here to Southeast Asia, and right about here is where Srivijaya was. Right about here. Okay, and it introduced foreign religious ideas there, and you can see it better on this map if that one was backwards. This is kind of Southeast Asia, and then you've got the islands down here is where Srivijaya was. All right, Malay sailors opened an all-sea route between India and China through the Straits of Malacca. So you've got this strait right here, the Strait of Malacca, and then the Sunda Strait coming through here. Both of those, I guess I can use the pointer right here. Ooh, yay! Both of those become very important in this time period. These straits do, because to get from India to China or East Africa to China or anything, you have to go through Southeast Asia, and you've got to go through one of these two straits unless you want to go a long way out of the way. All right, Srivijaya dominated trade from 670 to 1000 or to 1025. Let's say 1025 CE. And they had gold, they had access to spices and taxes on ships, all provided resources to create the state. So they get a lot of money from taxing ships that come through, and then access to spices and getting gold from different places, either in their colonies or otherwise. So they really build this empire pretty quickly by controlling these two straits. Because what happens is, if say you're coming from China and you want to go to India, you've got to come all the way down this. You've got to come all the way down here, and you've got to go through one of these two straits. And when you get about right here, this is where the Indian Ocean starts, and you have monsoon seasons. Now, the way that the currents work is at the time that you can use the winds and the current to get down here. You got to wait about 6 months until conditions are right in order to get to South Asia. So in order to get from here, wherever you get to one of these straits, and you're in the Srivijaya Empire, in order to get to India from there, you've got to wait a little bit. I think it was around 6 months in order for the for the currents and the winds to change in order to go the rest of the way. So not only do you have taxes on ships, but they're going to have to buy stuff while they're there. And you get all of that commerce from ships coming through, not just from taxes, but also from them staying there, buying things for a while. You've got visitors coming all the time. Lots of towns around here build commerce through this huge empire that makes a lot of money during this time. By the way, up here you've got champa, which is where China gets the champa rice from modern day Vietnam. It's this fast growing rice that that really kind of helps build the population of East Asia, because they have this fast growing rice that's also drought resistant. So it increases their food capabilities, and they're able to feed more people. So their population explodes during this time. So that doesn't have to do with Srivijaya right now, except it's right by Srivijaya, and they do trade with them as well. But that's mentioned in the video as well. All right, they used Indian political ideas and Buddhism. In the Srivijaya Empire, they had a multitude of Indian merchants and teachers that settled there, which is how this culture was spread. It didn't just come on the ships, but Indian merchants and teachers settled there and shared their culture. That's how they got these political ideas and how they got Buddhism during this time. Srivijaya also became a major Buddhist center as well. It became a Buddhist center of trade. It became a Buddhist religious center during this time, and you can with statues and important places. So you've got a lot of people coming not just for trade, but also because they're Buddhist and they want to visit this important place for Buddhism as well. All right, another place other than Srivijaya is called Angkor Wat in modern day Cambodia. The Angkor Wat is a temple complex in the capital of Angkor. It's the capital of the Khmer Empire in what's modern day Cambodia, and this is what the Angkor Wat looks like. Give me just 1 second. Okay, I had the wrong presentation there for a second because I added some stuff here. So originally, the Angkor Wat was built as a Hindu temple dedicated to the god Vishnu, and it's really a temple complex because it's this collection of temples, as you can see there. It was converted into a Buddhist temple in the 14th century, and then statues of Buddha were added to its already rich artwork after that. So you can see just how crazy, how crazy this architecture is, how unique it is, just from that. And we'll see some more pictures in a second. Angkor was, or the Angkor Wat is in the capital of Angkor, which is the capital of the Khmer Empire. And the Khmer Empire covered most of modern day Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. So again, you can see on this next slide right here that it's in that. You see Srivijaya is down here. Right, right below my face, bam, Vijayan Empire. So this shows the Khmer Empire around 900 CE. So what this red part up here is the Khmer Empire, and you can see the capital of Angkor right there in the middle. I need to turn my pointer back on. You can see the counter of the capital of Angkor right there in the middle. So this was the Khmer Empire. It covers most of what we now call Southeast Asia, the land of Southeast Asia, at least, and that doesn't include what modern day Indonesia. Their culture was heavily influenced by India. Oh, dang it. I just realized that wasn't showing for all that time. Let me see. I just realized I need to share this tab. Great. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties here. Okay, I should be sharing this tab. Okay, and now you can see me. Now you can see me fine. Okay. So what I was saying when you couldn't see me, oops, was that this was part of the Khmer Empire. It included most of modern day Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam, and then, oops. And then from there, so this this shows now that you can see over here, this is the Srivijayan Empire right here down here, and at the same time is the Khmer Empire up here with the capital of Angkor. You can see right there. All right, everybody can see that now, so that shouldn't be a problem. Their culture was heavily influenced by India due to the maritime trade routes, which are sea trade routes with the Indian subcontinent. So because they're trading with India, they're heavily influenced by Indian culture. Think the same sort of things. The Indians are not only visiting to make commerce, but a lot of people are moving there from India. Teachers are coming there and bringing their culture with them and everything like that. Hinduism and Buddhism were important religions in the region. So were animist religions, those religions that believe in spirits that control everyday life. Those are more traditional religions, more kind of native religions of the area that aren't these big worldwide religions. They're more local religions. So those are important as well, even still. But Hinduism and Buddhism are the main ones. And like we said, the Angkor Wat is this temple that was a Hindu temple. It was built as a Hindu temple, but then it's converted into a Buddhist temple, adds statues of the Buddha and everything like that. So you can see that just by looking at the capital of Angkor, or the temple complex of the Angkor Wat. The Thai kingdom of Ayutthaya took Angkor, the capital, in 1431, which ended the Khmer Empire. So they end the Khmer Empire in 1431, and that ends this whole thing. Now, I'm going to show you some more pictures of the Angkor Wat temple complex. Very cool, just the way this has been preserved over the years. And you can see some Buddhists there as more of a modern day picture of the Angkor Wat. All right, we're not going to go into detail there, but I do want you to, this is copied on your attached document. I want you to answer this question. It's sort of like a long essay question, but I want you to write something about this, and this will be a big chunk of your grade for these notes, is to explain the effects of Indian Ocean trade on Southeast Asia. Provide specific examples and specific evidence for the effects of Indian Ocean trade on Southeast Asia. I'll have that copied in that in that document. Now you'll also need to watch the Freemanpedia video on the Srivijayan Empire. He has some great stuff to get into there, so I want you to answer some questions there as well. This is going to be a big portion of that document, though, is doing the explaining the effects of Indian Ocean trade on Southeast Asia as well as you can. Okay, it doesn't have to be in a specific format. I would prefer that you do thesis in thesis format, and then go into some specific evidence. Other than that, that's what I'm looking for: specific examples, specific evidence. Okay, y'all have a good day, and I'll see you soon.